What's going on, guys? 1-4 here. I was asked by a local guy on the local forum that I am on, local airsoft forum, the Kalamazoo Airsoft Forum, to explain the topic of multicam, real versus fake, and how it affects us as airsofters and the choices that we make and the gear that we purchase. So there was a little bit of confusion over where multicam comes from, who produces it, so on and so forth. So I wanted, rather than take the time to write something, out of laziness, I'm just going to record this and then post it on the internet. So here goes. The multicam pattern was developed by Cry Precision in a combined effort with the private corporation Cry Precision and the Army. I don't know what exact date it was invented. I know that it's been around for a while because it actually lost in the competition for what was going to be the new camouflage to replace DCUs and BDUs in 2004. Multicam actually lost to UCP, if you can imagine. At least that's according to Wikipedia. And I mean, everything on Wikipedia is true, guys. Come on. I mean, you could take everything that's posted on Wikipedia as fact, because, I mean, it has pedia in the name. It's got to be legit. So that is where multicam comes from. Multicam is, and now the pattern, the rights to the pattern are owned by Cry Precision. Now, there are unlicensed versions of multicam that exist out in the world, but I will explain now why it's better to purchase authentic multicam that is produced by Cry Precision. First of all, the licensed multicam is what's used by the United States military, and even though Cry Precision produces their own combat sets, there are other brands that will produce garments in the multicam pattern, but they will create the garment with fabric that they purchased from Cry Precision. And Cry Precision, they produce a 50-50 Nyko Cordura nylon blend, which is ripstop, which is what most of us wear. And then they also produce a twill. And a twill is closer to like regular pant, like work pant material. And Proper makes a pair of multicam BDU and ACU cut pants in the twill. So now, Many might ask, and it's a good question, well, why wouldn't I just buy clothing that is produced overseas that looks like multicam, aesthetically looks exactly like multicam, but doesn't carry the price tag that authentic multicam carries over here in the West? The answer to that is, first of all, many of the replica multicam garments that are produced overseas, in person, have noticeable differences between them and authentic multicam. When placed side by side with an authentic pair of Cry material multicam pants, they will appear either to be more green, a lot more green. A lot of them have more of the Chinese multicam will have more of the effect of looking like it's printed and more of a two-dimensional pattern, as opposed to a good camouflage of any pattern, whether multicam or BDU or DCUs or Tiger Stripe or whatever. All of them are supposed to give off a sort of three-dimensional effect. This is what confuses the eyes and allows a person to remain camouflaged. It breaks up the body shape and allows the human to appear as organically a part of the environment. This is the purpose of camouflage, obviously. So much of the Chinese stuff that is produced by TMC and Emerson and others, and most notoriously the no-name Chinese replicas, those are usually the worst, appear in person to be either a super green multicam that looks like it's printed on a sheet of paper, or are very shoddily constructed. Now, there are some people, and I know them personally, who got very lucky with Emerson sets. A good friend of mine, Maverick, over at Maverick Customs and Repairs, the local tech service in West Michigan, has a pair of Emerson Multicam pants that fit him, that work just fine. However, he wears a size, I believe a size 32 waist in his pants, and these pants fit perfectly. However, they are labeled for a size 34. And this is a very poignant problem that has to be known by the consumer, that the majority of these Chinese garments are not sized properly. So even if you do find a good deal on an article of clothing that's printed in multicam, dyed in multicam, that you want to buy, there will always be the ambiguity of whether or not it's going to fit correctly. Another example is a friend of ours who goes by Kilroy on the Kalamazoo Airsoft Forum, bought for Op Red Dawn an ATAX FG set, I think by Emerson. Now, he and I both wear extra large shirts and I think like a large regular pant. So I was excited to see if this set was going to fit him, and if it did, that would perhaps sway my opinion on the whole thing. When it arrived, his combat shirt fit, his extra large size combat shirt fit, but the pants did not. However, the pants that were labeled for a 36 to 38 fit, again, our friend Maverick perfectly as a size 32. Now, some people might say, well, then I can just buy a set in a certain size, knowing that one of the two articles is not going to fit me correctly, and I'll buy it just with the intention of selling the half that doesn't fit me. The problem is that there are people, one guy who comes immediately to mind is a gentleman who sells on the Kalamazoo Airsoft Forum and the Michigan Airsoft Forum, Fergus. I've never met him in person, but I've seen a lot of his posts, and he has some very, very good items that he sells. One of them is an ATAX FG set, I believe by Emerson, that he bought an extra large that fits him with a 36 to 38 inch waist. So what that translates to is very poor quality control on the part of the Chinese. And what that further translates to is the advantage of purchasing authentic American-made items that are dyed and printed in the multicam pattern from Cry Precision. Because when you purchase a pair of pants from True Spec or Proper or American Apparel or just surplus, United States government issued surplus items, if you buy it in a large regular, it's going to fit like a large regular. If you buy it in a small regular, it's going to fit like a small regular. If you buy it in a large long or an extra large long, it's going to fit like that. As opposed to buying from the Chinese, where there's always the ambiguity of whether or not the thing is going to fit. Another example, the Allwyn AOR1 set that I did that review on. I was under the impression from the Dev T6 forums that this set had the sizing corrected, and that if I got it in a large regular, it was going to fit me. It showed up, and that was not the case. The pants fit like a small or a medium. I could hardly get them on. And so I had to turn around and sell them right away, which was disappointing because I like that pattern. But this is why people here in the West, I mean, if you live in China, if you live in Hong Kong and EB Airsoft is like a couple miles away from your house, then buy whatever you want. You can return it or not or sell it, whatever. Or because, and a lot of people, they say that this is Asian sizing. If it were, my struggle with that is, if it were Asian sizing, then it doesn't matter where in the world you are. A 32-inch waist is a 32-inch waist. It should be labeled correctly. Now, so that is why we should, as consumers, insist on quality items, and we should also understand that this is just how the world works. When you want to purchase something, when you want to earn something and to own it for yourself, you should not settle for the second string. If you can take the time and you can afford it with a little bit of extra effort, you should go for that first string of merchandise that you really want. Don't just settle. Go for what you really want. Now, I will quickly mention also that there are some items that do not use licensed cry material that are passable, that are in Western sizing. The Helicon Tex combat shirt, I believe Legionnaire on the Kalamazoo Airsoft Forum has one, and that it fits him. I'll double check with him, but from what I've heard, the Helicon Tex line is good. Also, the Rap 4 combat shirts also hold up quite well, and they sell what is called an eight color desert, which is it's modeled after Multicam, and I've seen a comparison video, and it does quite well. So those are some options that are not made from licensed cry material, but generally speaking, you will want to go with at least true spec or proper or United States government issued items, and if you can swing the Cry Precision sets, then you should go for that too. And additionally, and this is as a closing thought, we as airsofters should not create a culture where everyone feels they have to have some sort of totally legit special warfare style kit. It's not necessary. It's cool. It's part of our culture. It's part of our tradition as players of this sport, but not everyone needs to have it. The main reason why a lot of people buy this overseas junk is because they need to have it for a Green Beret kit or a pararescue kit or a DevGru kit or whatever. And so they have to resort to purchasing these replica sets that majority of the time are not worth the money. So save yourself the hassle, save yourself the ambiguity, save and purchase these items, most of which are not much. When you factor in shipping from overseas, much of the stuff that we've been mentioning in this video tonight does not cost much more. And if you get a pair of proper true spec Multicam pants, wear them for a while, save up $50, and then send them to Adventure Tactical and have them modified to look just like the Cry pants. So that's another option you have out there. I hope this has been information. I hope this has been helpful information, and I hope that everyone has benefited from it. You know, if I messed up anything or anything like that, let me know, and I'll do my best to add annotations to straighten everything out. So thanks for listening, guys. Take it easy.